Hey everyone, I am here to talk you through a stock split. So we're going to use these two pieces of paper as our object lesson so we can understand what's going on. So each of these papers represents one share of stock in a company. So let's say they've issued only two shares, maybe it's to two different people and they're each a 50% owner. So they each have one share of stock. Let's assume also that they are a $1 par stock. Now that doesn't mean that's what they paid for them. It's just the par value of the stock. And you'll see why we need to know that in a minute. So let's say the company decides, maybe one of the shareholders says, I'd really like to be able to give half of my stock to someone else, but I only have one share and I can't really give half of one share away. So I'd really like it if we could do a stock split. So really what's going to happen is they're going to take the existing shares and resize them. They're just going to make them smaller. So let's say they do a 4-for-1 stock split. What that means is for every one share that existed to begin with, there will now be 4 for 1. Okay, so I'm going to literally split this stock here. Give me a second. And I now have 8 shares of stock, but it's the same two pieces of paper and it represents the exact same ownership in the company. In fact, there's no exchange of assets one way or the other when we do a stock split. The shareholder's not giving anything to the company and the company's not really giving anything to the shareholder. They're just resizing the shares that existed. So I started with 2. I did a 4-for-1 stock split. So now I have 8 shares of stock. And interestingly, these 8 shares of stock have the same total par value that they had before the split, meaning before the split, we had $2 of par value, so $1 for each one. We still have $2 of par value. It's just that each share now has a par value of 25 cents. So again, we don't need to make any journal entry here other than to just make a note to ourselves that says, hey, our stock has been resized. What happens if we wanted to do a reverse stock split? Maybe we decide, oh gosh, we went too far. That 4-for-1 stock split was really too far. This one shareholder just wanted to give away 25% and they don't really need this many shares to do it. So let's go ahead and do a reverse stock split. Literally what we're going to do is take these shares and glue them back together. So like a cooking show, I've already done that for you. So here we go. We have 4 shares if we do a 1-for-2 stock split, or reverse stock split. So for every 2 shares, we now have 1. So you can see they've been kind of glued back together here. And I now have 4 shares. But again, remember, we don't want to change the total par value. We still have $2 of par value. It's just now split between 4 shares. So instead of 25 cents per little share, we now have 50 cents per sort of medium-sized share. So whether we do a stock split making the size of the shares smaller or a reverse stock split where we're making the size of the shares larger, we don't have any journal entries to record that. We just simply make a note to ourselves about the change in the size and the change in the per share par value, and that's all we do. We're literally just changing the way we carved up the ownership of the company. That's it. Okay, bring your questions to class. Thanks.